Hello, everybody. Hello, it's Matthew. How y'all doing? Hey, bias alert here. Bias alert, okay? I got to tell you right off the top, if I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite bands of all time, oh boy, they have to probably be in my top 5, folks. I mean, excuse me, I'm getting excited here. You know how much I love the Beatles. They're my number one. You know how much I love power pop and blah, 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 and all that good stuff, and Elvis and Buddy Holly and on and on and on. This band right here is always in my top echelon, folks. From when I was a kid, a teenager, Cheap Trick, they've always been there for me. And here I am, a almost 60-year-old man, and I'm still like a little kid, excited. Oh, excited and pumped up when I get a new album from... Gotta be my favorite band of the modern era that's still active, Cheap Trick. Love them, folks. I've got some notes here and stuff. I'm just gonna give my initial impressions, my Matt Reacts, whatever you want to call this, to the brand new 20th studio album by Cheap Trick called In Another World. Just released yesterday. I would have done this video, but I got the CD late in the day, had to listen to it a little bit. Came out on April 9th, 2021. Delayed, folks. It was supposed to be out early last year, but with COVID and all the BS going on, they had to delay it, and I don't blame them. Hopefully this year, with things opening up more and shows, it'll get more attention and whatnot. But folks, In Another World, let me just say right off the bat, another great Cheap Trick album, folks. Can they ever put out a bad album? I did a ranking of all their albums a couple of years ago, and I don't know what my last one was. It might have been The Doctor or something, but even The Doctor, I still find things I love on it. So this band doesn't disappoint me, folks. They don't let me down. Folks, we got 13 tracks on this album, produced by Julian Raymond and the band, and I'm going to show you. By the way, I wish I could show you the vinyl, folks, but I can't because I heard now it's being delayed until May. That stinks because I've got 2 on order. I've got a special limited edition colored vinyl coming, and I've got the picture disc Target exclusive coming. So I'm hoping and keeping my fingers crossed that all happens and I get them. But I do have the CD, so let me show you that. Here's the cover. Great, typical Cheap Trick cover. I love it with the black and white check. It's perfect. Here's the back. Nice picture of the band, and in the band you have, obviously, Rick Nielsen on guitar. You have old standby Tom Peterson on bass. You have Dax Nielsen, Rick Nielsen's son. He's been in the band since Bunny left about 10 years ago, on drums, and the stellar, great, top rock and roll vocalist, in my opinion, of all time, Robin Zander on vocals. Folks, here's the inside. Basically, it's all the check. I put my hype sticker from the CD in here. I like to save them if I can. The CD's playing in the background here, so you may not... I'm not able to show that, but it's cool. It has the same basic design as the cover. Here's the side. Nice little book inside, as you can see. Okay, the back. And great pictures. You've got the lyrics to every song, which is nice because you can really get into the lyrics and what they're singing about. More great pictures here. Don't worry, folks. I'm going to go through it all. I just want to show everything. I want to show what I have. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the vinyl when it comes in. Credits. And one last picture of the band with some credits. So there you have it. Folks, this is a fabulous album. 13 tracks. Starts out with a song called The Summer Looks Good on You, which has been out a couple of years now. It came out in 2018, 2019, was put out as a single, and folks, I love it. It's classic Cheap Trick. It's like a song for summer. It's like a song about new beginnings. It's so positive. It's so uplifting. Just a great way to kick off this album. I've always loved the song for the last year and a half or so. The Summer Looks Good on You is an A song. Great stuff. Song 2 is Quit Waking Me Up. Great power pop song, folks. If you're into the power pop, The hooks are there, the hooks galore. And I would say out of just about all the songs on this album, it's probably the most Beatlesque, dare I say. Even though we know Cheap Trick is so heavily influenced and love the Beatles, I will say that Quit Waking Me Up is very kind of a rockin' Penny Lane beat to it, if you know what I mean. That kind of shuffle Penny Lane beat. It's kind of, but it's not exactly like Penny Lane, but that's just the way I'm trying to relate it to you. It's just a great Beatlesque power pop song, a song for me. Number 3 is Another World. This is a slower kind of ballad type song with great lyrics about, it really does fit the times, even though I did hear and read that it was written before COVID, but it still fits the times. You know, like the times are tough right now, but we'll get through it, you know, with understanding and peace and caring for one. It's just a great, positive, uplifting song, a slower mid-tempo ballad. Another World, a song for me. You getting the drift here, folks. You're getting the idea how I feel about this thing. All right, number 4 is Boys and Girls and Rock and Roll. It's somewhat a standard Cheap Trick rocker, but I do love the guitar lick in it. The guitar lick is really cool. Really dig it. Really love it. It's just an awesome, typical Cheap Trick song. I'll give it an A-. It's a good song. The Party, number 5. This has got a really funky groove, folks. Like one of those kind of rockin' funk songs, you know, which Cheap Trick does on occasion. It's got that groovy driving beat to it. The chorus rocks when you get to the chorus, and it just hooks you right in when you get to that chorus of it. But even the beginning of it, the verses, I love the funky groove to this song, The Party. Great stuff. I'm giving it an A. Why don't I just say it? I'm going to give everything an A. Well, not, really, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, number 6 is called Final Days. This is kind of a bluesy song. Cheap Trick does the blues. Nice harmonica, interacting with the guitar in this song. It's a slower, heavy blues, sexy blues type song with a great guitar by Rick in it. Just great. Number 7 is So It Goes. This is where you really get to hear the outstanding vocal attributes, the vocal prowess of Robin Zander. I mean, this guy's amazing. What is he, 68 years old now? And he hasn't lost a step, folks. You know, when we talk about so many of our favorite artists who can't cut it anymore with singing and stuff like that, Robin, God bless him. I hope he has many more years where he can do this well into his 70s. 68 years old. He's singing great on this. He sings great on the whole album. Let me just say it. But on this song, he really shines. It's a slower ballad. It kind of reminds me of, not exactly, but more of a quieter Voices or Ghost Town. You know, it's like that kind of song on the album here. Not as intense as Voices and Ghost Town, but it's just slower, more gentle, great, peaceful, Beatlesque type ballad, okay? I love it. So It Goes. Number 8 is Light Up the Fire. This was like the first single that came out earlier this year, so to speak, and great heavy rocker, folks. This is perfect rock and roll tune. How did I write it here? A perfect Cheap Trick rock and roll tune. Robin sounds fabulous on it. It's a classic Cheap Trick song. Light Up the Fire. If you can't get your blood pumping and get your butt shaking with this song, you better check your pulse, folks, okay? Number 9 is called Passing Through. It's a slower rock tune, mid-tempo. It's okay. Hasn't jumped out at me yet. Oh, by the way, anything before this, if I didn't give it an A, yet it's an A. But Passing Through is the one that really hasn't jumped out at me yet. I'd give it a B. I've got to listen to it more. It just hasn't hit me yet, okay? Number 10 is Here's Looking at You. Here's Looking at You, kid. All right, Here's Looking at You is classic. How many times I got to say it? Classic Cheap Trick. It's fast. It's hot. It rocks. I love the riff, the typical Cheap Trick riff throughout the song. You're going to love it. It's classic. Here's Looking at You is Cheap Trick at its best. Woohoo! Am I getting too excited? Okay. Now, number 11, Another World, the reprise. This is like the alternate universe version of track number 3, Another World. The Another World reprise rocks. Unlike its predecessor, it rocks. And I do like it a tad better than the slower version, believe it or not. This is heavy-duty Cheap Trick. This is energetic. This is heavy power pop. This is a little punkish. Another World reprise. You're going to love it, folks. A song for me. Number 12 is I'll See You Again. And now we slow everything down. It's slower. It's pretty. It's dreamlike. Has a dreamlike vibe to it, I should say. It almost is very trance-like. You know, puts you in a trance. It's just very peaceful and gentle, and it's a cool way to get to the end of the album. I love it so much. I'm giving it an A. I'll See You Again. And last but not least is Gimme Some Truth, the great cover of John Lennon, which Cheap Trick. I mean, let me try to think of that. I love their version of Day Tripper. I love their version of Magical Mystery Tour. I love their version of Cold Turkey. I love that album they did of Sgt. Pepper. I mean, Cheap Trick, they are the worshipers of the Beatles, like I am and like you are. They love the Beatles and they wear it on their sleeve. They're not ashamed of their love of the Beatles. And the same with Gimme Some Truth. They do a stellar, excellent, bang-up job of covering John's Gimme Some Truth on here. You got Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols helping out on the track. And folks, it is just unbelievable, uncheap trickin' believable, okay? It's fabulous. Check out, it's an A cover for me. Folks, I love this album. I'm so happy that, you know, so many of the bands I've loved from my youth are now long gone. Some of the artists I've loved from my youth are now long gone. But here we are in 2021, and I can still, as a 60-year-old man, almost, another couple of months, I can still hold this close to me and hug it and kiss it and say, thank you, Cheap Trick. Thank you so much for being part of my life since I was a young teenager. And here you are all these decades later still with me and giving me this wonderful, great music. And I had to make this video in these conditions, folks, not in my home studio, so to speak, the Matt Street studio, because I just had to do this. I'm at work today, but I had to get this out there to you and tell you how much I love this album and how much I think you need this album. You need to get it, folks. It's fabulous. Cheap Trick, In Another World. Highly, highly recommended by the Matthew Street channel, and I'm giving the entire album an A+. That's right, I said it, A+. Love you all. Bye-bye.